Okay, so here we are again solving the same type of problem, but I would really like you to pay attention to the similarities and differences between today's warm-up and yesterday's warm-up. Probably you won't be able to do that until we've gone over this in its entirety, but that is something that I would like to see you do. So, let's get started. Okay, so first of all, it says write a series of 4 expressions using let statement. Again, the usual directions. We should know by now that we only use one variable and that our let statements are describing our expressions, because that doesn't change from one day to the next when we're working with dates. So, Matt ate half as many cookies as Jacob. And then Jack ate 14 more than Matt. So which one don't we know first? Who do we need to know first? It's probably easiest. To be honest, you can do this 2 different ways, but I would say it's easiest to start with Jacob, because Matt ate half of what Jacob did. So we're going to start out by saying let C equal the number of cookies that Jacob ate. I like cookies. Don't you? Everybody likes cookies. Okay, next. Matt ate half as many cookies as Jacob. Half. How do we find half of something? We divide it by 2. So we're going to take that C, that's how many Jacob ate, and we're going to divide it by 2. I want to remind you again, you're in 7th grade. This is what division has to look like. It cannot be the slash thing. It can't be this. It's just not how our 7th graders should be doing this. So, C divided by 2, half of C, is the number of cookies that Matt ate. Okay, the next one, Jack ate 14 more cookies than Matt. 14 more than Matt. Well, we know that Matt ate this many, C divided by 2, and 14 more than that. More means I'm going to add it, right? So I'm going to have let C divided by 2. That's how many Matt ate. And I know it's 14 more, so I'm going to add 14 to that number. And that equals the number of cookies. I hope they're good cookies. Homemade. Peanut butter, chocolate chip, something. What do you guys think? Okay, I'm distracted by the cookies. I must be hungry. It's okay. Here we go. I can fix that, make it look better. So this is the number of cookies that Jack ate. Okay, and per usual, we're looking for the total. How do we find a total? We add everything up. So I've got myself 3 expressions here for each of the each boy's number of cookies that he ate. So let's add those all together. So I'm going to have let C plus C divided by 2 plus C divided by 2 plus 14 equal the total number of cookies. Okay, so I've got all my let statements, which are describing each of my 4 expressions. And now what? We find out that Matt ate 5½ cookies. Wow, I guess he must have gotten full. I don't usually leave a half a cookie behind, do you? Anyway, regardless, Matt ate 5½ cookies. How many did everyone eat? So we're going to start with Matt. And the expression, Matt is equal to Matt. Remember how we do this? I don't write this every time, but still keep that in the back of your mind. So the expression that we wrote for the number of cookies that Matt ate was C divided by 2. And that's now going to be equal to 5 1/2. That's funny. Not really, though. Remember, what's the question we ask every single time? What's the opposite? Well, it says C divided by 2. What is the opposite of dividing by 2? Well, obviously, it's multiplying by 2. And in this case, well, in all cases, we would do this on both sides of the equation to keep it even, keep our seesaw balanced. So these are now 2 fractions being multiplied together. I put my 2 over 1. Those cancel. On this side, I'm left with C equals 5½ times 2. Now, we have 2 choices here. You can, in fact, change that 5½ into an improper fraction and then multiply it. However, this is a fairly obvious one. We're doubling this. 5 times 2 is 10. I would hope you know that. And if I've got a half and I double it, well, a half plus a half, or a half times 2, is 1 whole. So 5 times 2 again was 10, plus 1 more is going to be 11. C equals 11. And now we have each of the people. We've got Jacob, we've got Matt, which I know we just found, but we always double check, and we've got Jack. So let's see, the expression for Jacob was C. And I know now that C equals 11. I substitute in, and Jacob ate 11 cookies. Oh, yummy. Lucky him. Okay, so that's Jacob. Next is Matt. The expression that we wrote for Matt is C divided by 2. We found that C is equal to 11. 11 divided by 2, or you can just think that of 11 halves, and basically you're just reducing that or bringing it down to its lowest terms. 2 goes into 11 5 times, and then there's that 1 half left over. Matt ate 5 1/2 cookies, and well, that's a good thing because that's what we were given, so we must be doing something right here. And finally is Jack. The expression we wrote for Jack's number of cookies is C divided by 2 plus 14. We know that C is equal to 11. 11 divided by 2 plus 14. 11 divided by 2, we just did this one, it's 5 1/2, plus 14. So 14 plus 5 is 19, plus that other half. So that equals 19 1/2 cookies. Oh, I understand why there's a half a cookie now. Jack and Matt must have shared the last one. Huh, that's good stuff. Okay, so I'm still not done because I haven't found the total. I was also already asked to find the total. Now, as always, we should be using the expression we wrote. I cannot believe the number of warm-ups I'm still correcting where people simply are ignoring the constant reminders that I'm giving to use the expression you wrote. It's also kind of like a good double check. So the expression we wrote for the total is C plus C divided by 2 plus C divided by 2 plus 14. Oops. And we know that C, of course, is equal to 11. I substitute in every time I see a C, I write an 11, so I've got 11 plus 11 divided by 2 plus 11 divided by 2 plus 14. Okay, so this does, technically say to add in order from left to right, but they're all additions. So let's take a look at this for a second here. I've got 11 divided by 2, so that's half of 11, and I'm going to add that to half of 11 again. Well, logic tells me that that's going to just simply be 11. It's good to follow the rules and the steps when you're first learning things, but eventually it's really important that you start to really think about these problems and make sure you understand what you're being asked to do. So now 11 plus 11, of course, is 22, plus 14, that is 38 total cookies. Wow, that's a lot of cookies they ate. I wish they would have shared one with me, don't you? There you go.